What's good? It's Jordan. Today I'll be talking to you about do things that feel uncomfortable. Why I say to do things that feel uncomfortable is because when you do things that feel uncomfortable, you start to build confidence. See, confidence is important in understanding ourselves and understanding the path that we're walking on and walking forward. See, if we continue to live with not being confident, not being straightforward, not being of faith, following the truth, following the Most High, then we essentially will be weak. When we start to do things that are uncomfortable for us, then we start to break barriers. The key to this life is breaking barriers. This means being able to go out by yourself. This means being able to walk in a room, greet people in the room, hold conversations with people, being able to live outside of your box, being able to be more social. Oftentimes, we may live in our minds. I know I do. I know other people may live in their minds, but they may not be able to talk about it. But when you live in your mind and you do not live outside of your mind, you tend to be less social. And with being less social, you go outside in the real world, and even the smallest of conversations, you're not able to have, you're not able to actually formulate ideas and opinions in a productive way. Most times, you hold in things that may hurt you inside, and you are not able to express these things. You're not able to speak on these fears that you may have. And essentially, when you start to hold things in, you start to harbor resentment passive aggressively, and you're not able to actually speak your mind. You're not able to actually tell people what you feel and how you feel about a certain situation, a certain scenario that may have happened in the world or may have happened to you. When you start to have these uncomfortable conversations with people, because there are people in this world that will test you. They will test your strength. They'll test you to see how strong you are. And you tell those people that you did not like this thing that they did. You did not like how they acted. You did not like what they did in a situation that may have happened to you. Then you start to release yourself from stress. When you start to release yourself from stress, then you start to free your mind, start to free your body and free your soul. But when you live harboring resentment and not being able to be social and actually telling people these things, then you essentially weaken yourself. What we have to understand is when you're able to actually talk about these situations and actually be honest and be open, people respect you for that, because not a lot of people do that. If you've been disrespected in any way and you're able to tell somebody that you didn't like what they did, or you disclose the situation and actually have a conversation with that person about that situation, and you put your best foot forward to actually have a conversation with that person, they will respect you. That's all they can do. And if they don't respect you, they know now that you are a person that does not play like that. When we tend to shy away from certain things because we want to avoid conflict, we want to avoid people, we just want to be comfortable amongst people who disrespect us, who try to hurt us, then we essentially are hurting ourselves. Sometimes people may say things that may hurt you, but as long as you are able to speak up for yourself and actually speak about the situation and actually do what is needed to be done, even defending yourself, defending your name, this places you in a more confident position. If you're able to go outside by yourself, walk around, say hello to other people, if you're able to do your task and your hobbies and your interests by yourself, not needing people to follow you, not needing people to guide you, not needing people to show you the way, but you're able to do it on your own. That is very helpful because a lot of people live in a tribalistic mentality where they need people around them all the time. If they got to run an errand or do a hobby or interest, they got to invite a lot of people. Wherever they go, they got to invite a lot of people. They do not do things alone. They do things in an entourage. That is not helpful because when those people are not around, you do not feel worthy of yourself. And we have to understand that every time that we interact with somebody, especially socializing with people, you give a piece of yourself away to somebody. We have to understand this. We have to realize this. We have to understand that when we interact with people, it's best that we know that we are our own people and we're able to move around independently. When we focus on moving around with people all the time, more in a dependent way, it is not helpful. This does not build confidence. When you're so used to being around people, when you're so used to actually following people and just playing the role of being a follower, you never build skills for yourself. You never build skills for yourself in a way that will help you in your own life because each and everybody has their own life. You never build the characteristics and the traits needed for you to be a strong person. Think of it like this. If you constantly give yourself away and you constantly place yourself in the position where you're never the control of your life, someone is always controlling your life, you are not placing yourself in a strong position. You must be able to say no. You must be able to walk away. You must be able to be by yourself, being alone, understanding what it is to be alone, understanding how it is helpful to be alone, understanding why you are alone. When you understand these things, you start to put your life into perspective. The more you're alone and you start to grow and focus on how you could do things separately, away from everybody, then you start to be your own person. But when you start to integrate your life with someone else's life and you start to integrate yourself in a way where it's like you depend on this person for everything and you are not able to conduct yourself alone, then it's never a good thing. We have to understand the power of confidence. We have to understand the power of being alone, being by ourselves, and actually building social traits in this life that help us because we're not always going to have people guiding us along. You know, your parents are there for a season. Your parents are there to show you these things when you're younger. And sometimes people don't have the luxury of their parents showing them the right things. They don't have the luxury of understanding. They don't have the luxury of seeing these things. So when you don't have the luxury of seeing these things, it's hard for you to learn and understand when you're older. It's hard for you to actually change your mind and change your perspective. But with the internet, you're able to actually do these things now and actually learn that, hey, there's other people who actually may have went through these scenarios and situations, but they're able to change their life and they're able to actually be more confident. So with that being said, we can follow these people and understand these people and understand how they made the change. Even seeking God, seeking the Most High, just understanding that the Most High can provide us these abilities for us to understand ourselves, for us to understand what we need to do, for us to understand how we need to step out of our shell and step out of our box. This life is for us to learn, for us to grow, and for us to understand that if we stay in the position of weakness, then we will always be weak. But if we stay in the position of being strong, then we are going to be more stronger and leaning more towards strength. So today, I want to read this scripture. I hope that this scripture helps you in your own personal life. Psalms 32:8. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with eyes upon you. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make straight your paths. I want to thank you for watching today. Peace.